The heat is on. The heat is on. What about Neil Magny, huh?
Great stuff from him, man. That the going to the full screen on the Hamzat call out was
that was
fantastic.
good. That was good. Who was
perfect.
that? Nick?
Shout out to Nick, man.
Shout
Cutting
out
the
to
perfect
Nick.
promo there.
I mean, that's magic right there. Imagine he gets the fight. I don't think he gets the fight, but I got to say, it's a weird one. Of all the situations we've seen over the years, I can't recall one where you have a guy who's 11-7 calling out 11, and they're like, nah, is there anyone out there? And he's just sitting there in front of the class. Bizarre.
I hope they give it to Hamzat. I just want to get it on the books who Hamzat's going to fight next.
Yes, that would be nice. All right, Hamzat, we don't know who he's fighting next. We do know that UFC 269 is happening. Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. Holy smokes. We talked a bit about this on Monday. You said you were staying away from the main.
I'm going to take a total in it.
Interesting. What does that even mean?
I'm going to take the over 1.5 rounds, like I said.
Okay,
I ended up locking it in, yeah.
You've locked it in?
Yeah, I locked it in. I was supposed to have a new addition to the wall. I was supposed to have Poirier's hot sauce. I ordered it off of Amazon. Got here late. Jeff Bezos pushed the order. I don't know what happened.
Come on. How are you going to put that up on the wall?
Alex here, he's got the industrial build.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's got
that would have been nice. See, I like the way you're thinking about this. I mean, the difference in the way in which you think about this set of yours compared to New York Rick, Mr. Monday Afternoon, is quite drastic at this point. Like, you're thinking, you're planning, you're plotting.
I'll say Eric's got big plans.
Does he?
Once the plans come through back there, then I think it's going to look good. Just about executing them. He says he's going to take the holidays to do it. So.
Oh, wow. Geez, holidays. Okay, he's one of those. All right, what do we got?
Stacked card. We got a stacked card. I got 4 singles for you and 2 two-leg parlays. So trying to get the volume of the bets down. Make sure we're taking what we really like. Rather, we get a little confident. We get a little too cocky. And we just start flying bets out. And then, you're halfway through the fight. And I'm like, why did I take this again?
Yes.
Why did I take this again? All right. So
we'll start a little selective.
A little more selective. So we'll start it off with the singles. Andre Muniz, we'll take him over Eric Anders. This is one that could just come back to bite me. Former Alabama football player and Anders. I mean, he's probably going to win. Alabama's just going to continue to haunt me after they dominated Georgia last week. So that's how, this one could really screw
I think it's really interesting that you're going against the Alabama guy. I mean, it feels like a bit of a revenge bet, if you will.
Well, I broke your rule and I bet on Georgia last week.
Oh,
I got the double loss last week.
Wait, historically, do you not do that?
No, that's just your rule. I mean, I'll do it from time to time. I was pretty confident, and I was so wrong.
Doesn't work out.
I mean, I was pretty wrong all last weekend, so it was just going with the trend. But I'm going with Muniz. He's 5-0 in the UFC, 15-1 in his last 16, third-degree BJJ black belt. I mean, unbelievable submission game from this guy. He got Jacare out last time for a submission defeat. He's a fourth-degree BJJ black belt. 3 of his 5 wins in the UFC are by submission. All of them came when he was an underdog. He's actually a slight favorite in this one. Andrews, he's a tremendous athlete. I mean, obviously, Alabama football player, but he's not really a finisher. He likes to use that wrestling, rack up control time, but I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to do that here. He's got to, be wary of that ground game from Muniz. So I think Muniz will use the threat of the ground game to open up the striking a little bit more, and I think he'll be able to get the better of him on the feet. But personally, I think this is going to go to the ground eventually, and I think Muniz is going to be able to maybe submit him.
Okay.
So we'll go with Muniz there. Next up, I'm going to take another total, but this time it's going to be Dominick Cruz over Pedro Munhoz. I'm going to take this over 2.5. This one is kind of juiced up at -180, but this is just 2 durable decision makers facing off. Cruz, back to his WEC days, 12 of his 15 fights have gone to decision. Munhoz, 6 of his last 8 to decision. Munhoz has also never been finished. I just think this one goes over the 2.5, and, it might go to a decision as well.
I don't hate that one. I like that one.
Next up, it's funny that we're having him on the show. I'm not going against him, though.
That would have been awkward. I would have mentioned it, by the way.
I wish you would have, and then he would have been able to talk trash to me, just like Crutchmer. I'm going to go with KaraFrance here as the underdog at +135 over Cody Garbrandt. Starting with Garbrandt on this one, I mean, he's dealt with a litany of injuries, 2 back surgeries, broken hand, torn bicep, and, now he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights, and now he's making that move down to flyweight from bantamweight. We saw TJ Dillashaw do that. Did not really work out for him well, knocked out by Cejudo in 30 seconds, then he went right back up to bantamweight. And Garbrandt, his chin was kind of questionable when he was at bantamweight, and it could be even more questionable now with this massive weight cut that he's going to have to do, especially against a guy like. Were you going to say something?
No. I'm just kind of agreeing with everything that you're saying. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
in the line.
I kind of feel like that may be. I mean, Garbrandt's got a huge fan base. People are pretty big on Garbrandt. But I mean, against a guy like KaraFrance, I mean, he trains with some of the best strikers in the world at City Kickboxing. He's probably going to out-volume Garbrandt. I think he's got the better striking defense than Garbrandt. And despite the height advantage and Garbrandt coming down the weight class, according to UFC.com, he's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage in this one, and I think he's going to be able to use that at dog odds. Like you mentioned.
Really, huh?
Yeah, that's
4-inch.
Yeah, it was weird. Tapology said like 1-inch reach advantage, but then UFC.com said 4-inch.
Interesting.
And, there's no really way to know that, but yeah, I mean, at the dog odds, I'm willing to take this. I think he's either just going to outpoint him or may be able to even knock him out.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, and then lastly, it's the over in the main event, Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier over 1.5 rounds. I mean, this is going to be an agonizing 7.5 minutes. These guys are dangerous for a finish at any moment. But just with how high level of a fight this is, how important this is to both guys, Do Bronx first title defense, Poirier is trying to achieve literal lifetime dreams that he talked about on the show. Got to have a touch of caution. Got to respect the opponent on the other side of this one. Plus, before that McGregor stoppage, we saw Poirier 9 straight fights go over 1.5. Obvious concern here is Charles Oliveira. 16 of his 28 UFC fights, they've gone under the 1.5. But I just think Poirier is a different animal, man. This is going to be one of his toughest tests yet. I think he's got a great chin. I think he'll be able to hold up in this one. He's got a little bit of an underrated grappling game. Avoid an early submission. I think this one is going to go over 7.5 minutes.
Ultimately, I mean, this isn't an official pick, but who are you going with?
Dude, I have gone back and forth. I wanted to make an official pick, and I've gone back and forth.
This is unofficial right here. This is unofficial.
Unofficial, I guess I would lean Poirier. I think this is one of those fights, the longer the fight goes, I think it benefits him. But
I think I'm leaning Poirier too.
But I mean, Oliveira,
unofficial.
He's just so dangerous, man. I mean,
it's kind of the story of his run as of late. Like everyone kind of overlooks him.
Right. Well, you saw the Poirier tweet. He's not overlooking him. But
yeah, I mean, he's not overlooking him.
It's just tough. I'm just hoping it goes over 1.5, and then I can just sit back and enjoy it.
The amazing thing about Poirier is historically the knock on him has always been when he gets to that big fight, he crumbles. So I'll never forget, he fought Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, in Fairfax, Virginia, 2012. And that was supposed to be a number 1 contender fight for the 145-pound title, and he crumbled. He got submitted. Later on, he fights a guy like Conor McGregor in a big-time fight that was built up to be a huge deal, UFC 178. He crumbles after all the talk, after all the pressure. He fights Michael Johnson at 155. He gets knocked out brutally, crumbles. Now, though, I feel like slowly but surely, part of his evolution is that label is no longer attached to him. The first Conor win of this new, recent chapter with Conor, the second fight, it shed a little bit. And then you come back and you do it again. I feel like it's no longer there. And so of course, crumbled against Khabib, but everyone crumbles against Khabib. Right. The point is, he never got over that hump. And I feel like this could be the opportunity for him to finally get over that hump and finally, shed that label. It would be an incredible story.
Yeah, man. I mean, that resume of late, too, it's a murderer's row. I mean, he's gone through the best of the best.
Gaethje, everyone.
It's going to be awesome. I like, this is a fight or just a card in general that I cannot wait for. And to top it off with that main event is going to be fantastic. So we'll keep it rolling with the picks. I got 2 parlays for you real quick.
Let's go.
2 legs apiece. We'll start with the first one. I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley over Raulian Paiva. I think hopefully what we're going to get
straight up?
Yeah, just straight up on this one. 2 straight up plays. I mean, I'm hoping what we're going to get here is a firefight on the feet, and I just think O'Malley has him outclassed in the striking. He's the taller fighter, reach advantage. He's more technically skilled. He fights better off the back foot. I think he's got better striking defense. He mixes in the kicks well. And Paiva, I mean, he can tend to keep that chin up, especially when he comes in for a flurry of punches. We saw it in the Kyler Phillips fight. I know he didn't get finished there. I'm not saying O'Malley's going to finish him necessarily, but I do think, I think he's going to be able to outpoint him or maybe even get a finish. We've seen him finish a lot of those fights. So I like O'Malley. I like the sugar show to roll on here. And then the next one, Bruno Silva. I will take him over Jordan Wright. I just don't see this fight going the distance. Silva 21 wins, 18 by knockout. Jordan Wright, he's never made it past 48 seconds in the second round of a 14-fight career. Silva, he's 16-2 in his last 18. Jordan Wright, early in his career, we've talked about this before. He was just kind of crushing Kansas. First 6 wins. All of his opponents were winless. One was 0-10. The other guy, I mentioned him on the show before, he was 0-21. And just like an interesting note as I was just going back through Jordan Wright's career, I mean, he's 2-1 in the UFC, but he also lost on the Contender Series that got a no contest because Anthony Hernandez tested positive for marijuana. But I mean, he got knocked out in 40 seconds, and it was exactly how Silva got his last win over Andrew Sanchez, just up against the cage, just like pummeling with punches and putting him to sleep. I think Silva's going to be able to do that here. I mean, obviously, Jordan Wright could get the knockout. We know he's got a lot of power, but he's more like a TKO, ground and pound knees. He got a huge cut against Ike Villanueva, and we've seen Silva eat huge shots. We saw it happen in the Andrew Sanchez fight. And then if you go back to his Ultimate Fighter fight against Vitor Miranda, I mean, he was just getting a brutal beating before finally getting KO, but he was moving forward the entire time. So I think Silva, he's got the striking advantage. I think he's got the chin advantage. And I think he'll be able to get it done here against Jordan Wright.
Man, look at you going into the freaking archives with that
I got the UFC Fight Pass now, man. I've had it for the last few weeks, man. I'm sitting there taping now.
Damn, I mean, jeez, Louise, you really went deep there.
We're getting deep into it. I'll finish you off here with the last parlay real quick before we get to Kai. I'm going to take Amanda Nunes inside the distance at minus 325. I think she's just better everywhere. You can't take her straight up at minus 1,000 at some point.
No respect for the Venezuelan vixen.
Maybe not.
Let me call her real quick. No, I'm just joking.
I'm not going to say it's no respect for her. I think it's the utmost amount of respect for Amanda Nunes. I mean, she's just absolutely incredible. Most of her fights do end by finish. I know she didn't finish Felicia Spencer or Jermaine Durand to me, but I mean, neither of them really get finished too often. Felicia Spencer, now that she's retired, win her whole career without ever getting finished. So that's props to her. And I think she's going to have the striking advantage, grappling advantage. I mean, we saw Pena get finished, submitted by Jermaine Durand to me. Never thought that could have happened. So I think Nunes is going to be able to get it done and inside the distance. And then to finish us off, the final leg of the second parlay, Alex Perez. I'm going to take him over Matt Schnell. He's finding a ton of success off of the Contender Series. He's fought some of the best people in the flyweight division. I think he just has so many weapons to use in this one. I think he's going to bring more volume, more pressure, throw those big hooks, and then the most important thing, he's going to mix in those leg kicks, those super powerful leg kicks. We saw him finish Formiga, just tatting the legs before making him crumble in the first round. It's his bread and butter. I mean, the second the fight starts, he's going to go to him. I think he's going to use those to slow Schnell down, mix in those takedowns, use that wrestling advantage. Obviously, avoid the submission game from Schnell, but I think he'll be able to outpoint him. And we've seen Schnell finish before. I mean, he's kind of like either he's going to finish someone or he's going to get finished type of fighter. And, Perez has that finishing capability. So however it does finish, I do think Perez is going to be the one getting his hand raised.
Anything on former NBA draft pick Royce White making his MMA debut on Friday? Any picks on the LFA card? You know Royce White, right? Right? From the
yes, I know Royce White, but I did not know that he was fighting this weekend.
Iowa State product, remember? He was drafted, I believe, by the Rockets. It's been like 2.5 years since he announced his intentions to fight in MMA. Finally, this Friday, Royce White, the former first-round pick, going up against former Temple fullback Daquan Buckley. Do you know Daquan Buckley?
I don't know.
I definitely know who Royce is. Obviously, in the news a lot, has talked about mental health, has talked about civil rights, social injustice here in America. Finally making his debut. Big guy. I think he's like 6'8" or something. So I was wondering if you're the big college basketball guy. I thought you'd, throw down a little bit. Take a flyer, as they say. No?
Yeah, no, I'm still passing on the LFA.
Okay, yeah.
Eventually we're going to get one.
I keep trying to get you to do a little LFA. Interesting, nothing on the Jeff Neal-Santiago Ponzinibbio fight that we sort of talked about a little bit on Monday, I believe, right? After the arrest. You thought that...
I mean, I lean Ponzinibbio.
Yeah.
And the line is moving his way right now.
Even more so.
Yeah, he started at minus 110. I think I'm seeing as low as like minus 135 now.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's just such a close fight. It could go either way. Same with like the Tuivasa fight. It could just go either way.
Nothing on the Josh Emmett Dan Ige fight.
Nah,
I'm trying to get
no like official bets. I'm gonna enjoy all these. I mean, I'll put together like an air fryer parlay. I think I'm gonna do a violence parlay as well. But
what does that mean?
Just a violence parlay?
What is a violence parlay?
Oh, just literally like 4 fights, all not to go the distance.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay, I love that.
Just to have a little fun. I mean, it's a pay-per-view card. We'll throw out some extra bets. Get a little extra juice in the game.
All right, there he is. GC, this is great. You picked Kai, and we'll go to Kai in a matter of seconds here. Yes. Shout out to him. Appreciate it. Good luck. I feel good. Final UFC pay-per-view of 2021. GC stopping by, giving us some picks here.